What's up, guys? My name is Jimmy Mahalik and welcome to my YouTube channel. We're talking about Amazon FBA, pretty much everything from A to Z and everything in between. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because you're not going to want to miss this stuff. Get tons of information coming out every day. So today we're going to talk about what do you do once you find a product that you're interested in selling and it meets all the criteria and you think it could be a good profit or a good product that can make you a lot of profit. So let's switch over to my computer. We'll show you what to do next. All right, we are over on the computer now and we're on a website called Alibaba.com. If you've never heard of it, this is a website that's basically a Chinese website, and this website company is worth billions of dollars. They're worth like as much as Amazon is. They make billions and billions of dollars. So it's actually a very reputable company. So I'm going to show you a bunch of things of what to look for when you're looking for a product. So first thing is this is kind of a search engine for manufacturers. So you're going to be going in here and we're going to use the example that we did in one of the last videos where we found a beeswax candle to sell. Looks like a great product. It fits a lot of criteria. And the nice thing about it is you can have different designs on it. So we're going to talk about that next. So as you're on Alibaba.com, make an account there. It's free. And we're going to talk about when you type in something, you're going to see a bunch of suppliers. And there's a couple different ratings that they have. And this has kind of changed throughout the years and even recently. So the first thing is a gold supplier. So gold suppliers are paid members who enjoy the following advantages. On-site checks, that means that Alibaba had somebody go to their business and make sure that it's actually there. And number two is they support trade assurance. So in my opinion, you're not going to want to do any business without trade assurance. You can do it through PayPal if you don't have trade assurance, but any manufacturer that I've ever bought from has always had trade assurance. There's a lot of old information out there about Alibaba that's not 2019, and just like Amazon, stuff is always changing. So I really recommend that nowadays you use trade assurance when you're paying, which is basically paying through Alibaba, and try to keep almost all your communication on Alibaba directly through their message center, because now Alibaba doesn't like it if you're talking off their platform, and in fact you could actually lose. Trade assurance is like a guarantee. Like if you spend $2,000 with a manufacturer and buy a bunch of products and they screw it up and you're like, no, I can't buy these, you've messed it up too bad, there's no way I can sell this, I get too many complaints. You can they're held accountable because Alibaba is, like I said, they're worth billions of dollars. And if a company loses their account on Alibaba, it would be detrimental to their business. I mean, there's businesses on here that are making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they do all their business on Alibaba. So they do not want to lose their account. It would be like you losing your Amazon account. I mean, it would cost you tens of thousands of dollars a month or a year. You would not want to lose your Amazon account. So Alibaba is very reputable for that. And so they have gold suppliers and they have verified suppliers. So verified suppliers are obviously better. They have these additional things, but they have to pay for this, okay? So I wouldn't necessarily say, I only go with verified suppliers. If they're a gold supplier or a verified supplier and have trade assurance, that's good enough, okay? You're really going to boil it down to the price and the quality and that other stuff. But as long as you can pay through trade assurance and they have something like this, that's great. So we're going to go over here. We're on Alibaba Search, and we're going to type in Beeswax Candle, which is one of the products we found in the past research videos. If you haven't seen that, go back and view that video. And I like this product because when you look on here, they're very unique, okay? So I don't like products that when you go on Amazon, every single product looks the same, okay? I don't like that because if you can't differentiate yourself, it's not a good market to be in, because then a lot of people are either going to go by who has the highest reviews, you know, somebody who has 500 reviews, or who has the lowest price, or who looks like the highest quality. If they're all the same, if you go on the first page and it's, you know, beeswax candle, beeswax candle, beeswax candle, and they all look freaking exactly the same, you probably don't want to be in that market. Find another product. There's so many products out there to find, you know, but this is a great product because, I mean, look at this. I'm just on the first page here of Alibaba, and every single one of these is different. I mean, there is so many, you know, cool items that you could buy here and private label. Just put your company name on the box, and bam, you got a new and unique product. So when you look over here on the right, you're going to see this company, for example, has been on Alibaba for 2 years. They're a gold supplier and trade assurance, and they've done $60,000 in the last 6 months, 100% response rate. This is a great company, okay? So if you like that specific type of beeswax candle, you know, go ahead and hit contact, you know, contact them and message them. So what I would suggest is go on here and find at least 5 that you like, at least, if not 10. And I want you to go ahead and contact them. So I brought up a couple of the beeswax candles that I liked. And so look at this. This is very high quality in my opinion. I mean, it's got like a beeswax type of like engraving on it. So in my opinion, if I was buying a beeswax candle, it's like unique. I don't even know why people would want a beeswax candle, but a lot of people are looking for them based on Amazon search volume. So if I was buying a beeswax candle for whatever reason, you know, I thought, you know, saving the bees was great, or I want to help support, you know, that industry, or for whatever reason people are buying beeswax candles. Obviously, if you're going to source this product, you probably want to figure that out. You want to know why people are buying beeswax candles, because that will help you market that. But this, you know, it doesn't look like a regular candle. It's unique, and for that reason, you could probably charge a premium, or people would buy that because it's unique. It's not just your old regular white candle that costs 20 cents in the store, right? I mean, if people are going to pay $15, $20, $25 for a bundle of this, or, you know, a package of these, it's got to be unique. It's got to knock their socks off, right? This is perfect. I mean, look at these. You know, you could have a bundle. I mean, these are 13 cents to 55 cents depending on how many you buy. So we're going to talk about being able to, let me switch over here. I got to bring this up. We're going to talk about a little template that I use to contact them. But, you know, so you might sell a box of 12 of these, or, I mean, you'd have to see what the competition is selling. I got a couple more here. So this is more of like a single candle that would burn for 5 hours or something like that. You know, this is $2 to $3, it looks like. I mean, obviously you're going to want to negotiate on these. And a lot of these companies, they sell a lot of different kind of candles. So, I mean, look at that. That is a beeswax candle. I mean, that's very unique. Now, I don't know if people would buy that one specifically because it's kind of odd shaped. But, you know, you could contact this company and be like, get the prices for all those, okay? So another thing I want you to do is that in a market like this, where everything is a little different, here's one more. I mean, look how unique that is. Look how cool that is. You know, it looks like like a honeycomb. I mean, that is a great product in my opinion. Now, I don't know if I like the bee on there. You see, there's actually like a little bee on the picture. You know, like I might source this candle without the bee. Like, this company's been on here for 10 years. They've had on-site check. I mean, this is a great company. You can trust yourself with this. So let's go on Amazon and let's type in beeswax candles. And by the way, when you're on Amazon and you start typing, you're going to see all these suggestions. I have some little tool I had that kind of shows the monthly search volume here too. I'll have to get you the name of it. I just downloaded it the other day. But as you can see here, beeswax candle, 22,000 searches a month. Beeswax pellets, 3,600. Furniture pallets. So these kind of complementary searches might help you later on, because, you know, you might find, something complimentary that goes with beeswax candles, and you could combine those two to make a bundle and have like a super unique product. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the suggested searches there. But what I want you to pay attention to here, because this is a unique category, like not like this photo here, like this is not what you want to sell. I mean, that's a terrible product. I mean, I'm sure that one makes a lot of money, but you wouldn't want to also sell that exact same plain candle, because how are you going to beat out this guy? I mean, they already have 43 reviews, and you're no different, right? So like you could sell that, but you would need to have like an awesome packaging. Okay, so like, you know, this packaging, that looks generic. It looks very cheap. Let me just look here and see if there's anything that I really like here. I mean, look how nice that looks. I mean, that looks like a gift set. I mean, even though we just seen that these candles are like 25 cents a piece or something like that, doesn't that look nice? It looks like it's a gift set. Like, that's the type of listing, you know, and look, they're by Jack B. Nimble. That looks like a quality listing, okay? Those are the type of listings you want to go for. That's the type of product that you kind of want to go after, right? And this, look at this. This Julia, they got multiple sets of beeswax here. That's actually the company that we found. They know that they're making good money here. They got all sorts of different versions of it here. So, you know, they know that this product's making good money. So go on the first page of Amazon and look at what everybody's selling, right? And kind of try to find a product that you can sell that stands out. So when I go back here to my results, you know, that looks like it stands out to me. Now, that's like the Starbucks logo or something. So you probably wouldn't want to put the Starbucks logo on it, but you know, you wouldn't want to, I mean, you could put your company logo there. That'd be great. If you had a nice looking company logo, or like Beeswax Candle Company, or, you know, or whatever you want to call your company, that would be a perfect solution. So maybe pair like, you know, a set, you know, five 2-packs of these paired with, you know, some type of nice looking box or nice like gift set looking box there, and you would have a winner. Like, you would stand out. You wouldn't look generic like this. You know, like, the problem is if you have just this, you have to compete on price or reviews, because it's the same product, right? I mean, at least these guys, they have a not good looking product, you know, box here, but at least they have that there to differentiate themselves. So keep that in mind when you're looking at a design style product like this, you know. So what I would want you to do is find at least 5 of these that you like, and I want you to contact them all. It's basically just a message system through Alibaba. You're going to want to leave all your messages on Alibaba. A lot of old videos tell you not to do that. They tell you to like go on Skype or go on WeChat or something like that, and you don't want to do that now, because Alibaba has grown up and they want to keep all the messages on their system. They even have a warning that, like, if you put like an email in there, it'll even like give you a warning that says something like, you know, if you message outside of Alibaba, your transaction might not be guaranteed. Okay, so I do end up having to email some transaction, you know, some of my suppliers outside, because eventually, once you get used to doing business with them, you'll just have their email, and sometimes you'll email them. But then what I'll do is when I go to reorder, I still have them make the payment and the order on Alibaba, okay? Because it's guaranteed, and it's like you could be on your 5th set of shipments with a supplier, and something could go wrong on that 5th set of shipment. Well, guess what? If you just paid them through like a wire, which some people do, believe it or not, I have no idea why they would do that. You have no guarantee. They could just say, oh, sorry. But if it's on Alibaba, they know, first of all, they don't want to get a bad review. It's just like Amazon. If you left them a bad review and said, this company's terrible, they stole my money, it's a scam, whatever, like that would harm their business way more than trying to steal $500, a couple $100 from you, or, whatever the problem was, right? So they're going to work with you. And if they don't work with you, or even if they do work with you, you can get Alibaba themselves involved, and they have trade assurance. It's literally like insurance, and Alibaba will either make these people give you your money back or whatever amount of money you deem fair if something went wrong. It's literally like insurance built in. So message through Alibaba and pay through Alibaba. You're going to be much more secure that way. I haven't had any issues where I had to use trade assurance, but it sure is nice knowing that if somebody messed up my order and it cost me money, that they're going to want to work with me because they don't want to get in trouble with Alibaba. They don't want to get a bad review and all that stuff. And if they don't want to work with me, Alibaba will work with me because their reputation's on the line. So keep that in mind. So what I want you to do is message about at least 5 of these, and I got a little template here. And I'll probably provide a link to this template down below in the description. But this is kind of something that I've had for like a year or so, and I've changed it a little bit here or there. So you're going to copy and paste this to each message, and obviously you're going to fill this in. So you're going to say, hi, my name is Jimmy, and I'm from Beeswax Candle Company, or whatever your company name is. We are currently looking to expand our product line and are interested in one of the items you manufacture. And then you'll list Beeswax Candle here. I mean, you may have to get rid of the or something like that, but Beeswax Candles. This is something I've learned. Include the link to the Alibaba listing right in there. So go here on your listing, copy and paste this, and put this directly in the email, because what happens is you're going to go and you're going to message 5 or 10 of these people. And then you're going to find another product you like, and you're going to message 5 or 10 of those people. And then you're going to find another product you like, and you're going to go message 5 or 10 of those people. Okay? Or you could have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 products, and you're going to have a lot of messages in Alibaba. So what happens is when this guy comes back and they're going to say, oh yeah, the price is $2, and they're going to tell you all this information, you might not know which listing was there, which product was there. So include the listing in your original message to them, and it's going to help you in the future because you'll be able to just scroll up to the top of those messages and be like, oh, that's the one he's talking about, and you can click it up and bring it up. Plus, the link's in there so you can kind of go back and look at the information they have in their listing. Because if you went up to them and you got back to them, and sometimes you'll get suppliers that will do this. See how it says 13 to 55 cents a piece. Now, I don't know if the piece is for one candle or for a set of 2 or whatever, something like that, right? But let's just say, let me find another one here. Okay, here's the perfect one. $2.8 to $3.8, 100-piece minimum. 3.8 is their high. So sometimes you'll contact these people and they'll come back to you and they'll be like, oh, it's $5 a piece. Well, it says that your highest price is 3.8 on there. So that's a negotiating tool you can use to be like, no, I have the listing here. I sent you the listing in the email or in the message. Make sure we're talking about the right one, because it says your highest price is $3.80, and I've already gotten lower prices from other suppliers. You can just say that, okay? But you don't want to corner yourself and say, oh, I got them for 50 cents, because, if they come back and say, well, we can't do that, you don't want to end your relationship. So just kind of, don't lie really, but you can kind of bend the truth a little bit to your advantage. But this will hold them to this price, right? So like if they have this listed here, I've had this before, where they have their price in here and then they come back to they're like, oh, $5. And what you can say, and sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's old information, we haven't updated it. But the problem is if you word it the right way, you can kind of hold them to that, because you can say, well, no, your listing on Alibaba says $3.80, and I know you don't want to get in trouble with Alibaba. You should honor that. I don't know if you would say exactly that, but you get my drift, right? They kind of have to honor this price if they say it's on there. Or you just move on to another supplier. So go and message this. And like somebody like this, I would message them, and I would also ask for the additional styles that they have, because they had a bunch of different styles there, and then you can find a unique one that nobody else is selling or very few people are selling, or maybe combine like 2 or 3 of the styles together. As long as they're, people are going to like them all, you could have a very unique package there. So go back here to the template. Could you please provide me with the following information so we can determine if this is a good fit for our product line? Number 1, are you able to provide custom packaging? Okay, that's pretty important because you have to have your name on there, your private label name, because if you just go and just buy those generic candles and you put up a listing, other people can come onto your listing and sell them because they're generic. They're not branded. They're not sold by a specific company. They're not sold by the Beeswax Candle Company, okay? If they're sold by the Beeswax Candle Company, you have a lot more protection against hijackers, is what they're called, where people who come on your listing and try to sell it, even though it's not the same product, okay? So you want to make sure you have at least your company name somewhere in the product. Most of the time, it's going to be on the box. Worst case scenario, you have like an insert card or a package insert that has your company name so that nobody can sell your exact same product. Trust me, it'll help you in the future. So are you able to provide custom packaging? Number 2, what is the standard production time for each order? So a lot of times this is 14 to 30 days. You'll occasionally get a manufacturer that'll be like 45 days or something. I don't like to use those guys unless it's a very custom order, because the problem is I like to sea ship, and you should too, because it's like half the price of air shipping or less. And if your sea shipping takes like 30 days and your production time takes 14 days, you're at 45 days, okay? It's gonna be 45 days until it gets there. And that falls into like your reorder. Like, so if you're down to like 100 units or 200 units and you see it's selling well and you're like, hey, I need to reorder because I'm making money, that it takes 45 days for it to get there. So you have to have enough inventory to stay in stock. So the standard production time for each order is very important. You need to take that into consideration. It's not always just price. It's quality and all these other stuff. So number 3, what is the price per unit, including the packaging, at the following MOQs? MOQ stands for minimum order quantity, okay? So if we go back to some of these listings here, like this, 50 pieces minimum, 3,000 pieces minimum. So look at that. They say 3,000, that's a high minimum. And that's probably because these are only 50 cents each. So buy 3,000. Okay, I know what they're saying. That's 3,000 of one of these, but you're probably not going to sell just one because it's a small little candle. Like you have to put this in packs of 6 or packs of 12 or something like that. So, if it was packs of 6, it would be 500 packages of 6. So, but you keep this into consideration. Sometimes they don't list this here, but all of these seem to list this here. Look at this. If you want just your logo on it, you need to order 500. If you want just your packaging, you need to order 1,000. So keep that in mind, but it's still good to ask this here, and here's why. So you're going to ask, what's the price for 100 to 500 units? What's the price for 1,000 units? What's the price for 2,000 units? What's the price for 5,000 units? Okay, and there's several reasons why you want to do this. So number 1 is you want to get this pricing ahead of time. So if you don't ask this pricing and you start with 500 units, for example, next time you go to reorder and you order 1,000 units or 2,000 units, they're going to probably give you the same price, okay? But if you have it in writing ahead of time that 1,000 units is 20 cents cheaper, 50 cents cheaper, whatever it is, 2,000 units is X cheaper. If you have it in writing ahead of time, you can hold them to that, okay? Because these guys, they want to make as much money as possible, just like you want to make as much money as possible. So keep that in mind. So you're going to get this price for all of these questions back. If they respond back and just give you one price, reply back to them and be like, hey, I need the pricing for these other amount of units also, okay? Because you want to get it in writing kind of before you start negotiating. After you get the pricing, one of my common strategies that I do when negotiating this pricing is I tend to start with about 1,000 units, okay? You know, the money for me isn't really an issue. A lot of people, if you're more on a budget, you would start with maybe 300 units to 500 units. The reason why I start with 1,000 units is I know that even if the product's a loser and it doesn't perform well, I can still sell them all just by using PPC and stuff like that. I still end up selling them all. I just don't reorder, okay? But let's just, so once you get into, we're going to talk about ranking later, so I don't even want to get into it. But if you have 1,000 units here, you're able to do a giveaway for 100 or 200 units, right? If you want to do that to boost yourself to page 1. You don't know what I'm talking about, we'll talk about it later. But if you only did 300 units, you can't do a giveaway for 100, 200 units because you don't have enough units to stay in stock. Okay, so all this kind of goes into your figuring of how much money you have and if you're on a very strict budget and how much you want to start with. But I suggest starting with at least 300. You know, worst case scenario, you know, if the product's just not moving, you just put it on pay-per-click and you'll kind of just like, most of the time, worst case scenario, liquidate it at cost, which is fine because you'll get your money back and sell it out and then just kind of move on to the next product. Most of the time, that's your worst case scenario. Okay. The best case scenario is you make a lot of money and you're able to quit your job down the road and you move on to a second product and all that stuff. So get the pricing for all that stuff. And when they reply back and they say the pricing for all these units, and let's just say you wanted to start with 500, ask them if they can do the pricing for 5,000 units. A lot of times they'll say no, okay? But let's just say that, you know, this was $2 and this was $1.75 and this was $1.60 and this was $1.50, okay? And you're here at this price. You know that this price, they're capable of doing it, okay? But they're probably not going to give you this price at 500 units. You can negotiate. Occasionally, you'll be able to get it, okay? And if you do, you'll be like, yes, I got the best deal ever. But use this to your leverage. Start by asking for this price, even though you're only ordering this or this. And maybe try to settle at this price once, if they say no, they can't do it, blah, blah, blah. But this way you know what their lowest pricing is and you know what their highest pricing is, okay? And then you're going to get quotes from other people, right? So, and you don't always go with the lowest priced person because even though this is $1.50 and the next guy might be $2.50, the next guy might have an awesome product, okay? This might be for a generic candle, and the next one, even though it's $1 more, it's for a nice honeycomb candle that's very unique. Nobody's selling it, and you can make a killer profit on that, okay? So if you're just trying to sell cheap junk, you're not going to make it in this business, okay? You're going to get terrible reviews. You got to have a high quality product, okay? But you do want to get the best price for your product. Okay, so moving on. Also, for estimating our shipping costs, please provide the following information. How many items come in a case? So what you're going to do when you ship these to Amazon, you're going to have a box, a case, called a case or a carton, right? And they're going to put, let's just say 50 units in here. So let's just say this, you're selling 6 candles in a unit or in a product, right? And that's going to be your product that goes on Amazon. They're going to take 50 of those and they're going to put them in a case or a carton, okay? You're asking how many items come in a case. Then you're also asking what is the dimension and the weight of the case. So they're going to say 50 come in the case. The dimension is, 50 centimeters by 40, whatever it is. And then they're going to give you the weight. Most of the time it's in kilograms or pounds. If it's in kilograms, you just go on Google and type in convert kilograms to pounds and, boom, you get it. But a lot of times your kilograms is fine because you're going to give the information to a freight forwarder. And a freight forwarder is a company that kind of handles the shipping for you. We'll have to talk about that in another video. I've used a couple different freight forwarders. Trust me, you want to use a freight forwarder because you don't want to try to ship this stuff from China to the USA and handle the customs. You just can't do it. I mean, everybody uses a freight forwarder who knows what they're doing, right? So In my Facebook group, the link is down below. We have our own Facebook group that's free to join, and we talk about Amazon FBA every day. Contact me in there and ask in the Facebook group who our current freight forwarder that we're using is, because I've used a couple of different ones, and when I get a freight forwarder that is reliable and I use them over and over and over, I'm going to recommend them to the group, and it kind of holds them accountable, because they're not going to want to, do anybody wrong in the group, because, there's going to be, 20 or 50 people in the group potentially using them. So they're going to want to make sure that they do business right by you and they keep the costs fair. So whoever our current freight forwarder is at the time, you can ask me in our Facebook group, link down below. You can join for free and just go ahead and ask us, and we'll tell you who the current freight forwarder we're using is. But what you would do is you would give all the information to the freight forwarder, and you could hey, give me a quote on this. Give me a quote for air shipping and sea shipping. And even though you're not air shipping, you still want to get the price of it, because you want to, again, have that number in writing. Now, shipping rates change, okay? It's just, prices go up. It's not like you're going to get a price now and 2 years later it's still going to be the same price. But it gives you a roundabout price. So you may have to occasionally air ship. So if you ordered 500 of these and all of a sudden they sell way faster than you thought, and you sold 300 of them in the first month, and you need 300 for the next month, but the sea shipping alone takes a month and you're going to run out, you may have to air ship some items to kind of stay in stock, because you don't want to run out of stock in this business, because your rankings go down. So you still want to get the air shipping costs, and I kind of use air shipping for emergencies, because it's normally double the cost or more. So still get the air costs and keep it in your back pocket. So a lot of times the air costs will eat up your profit, and you may have to sell 100 or 200 units at very little profit, but it's still better than going out of stock. It's just it's the cost of doing business. Don't run out of stock is my suggestion. So you're also going to ask the supplier, does your company offer shipping services for this product? There's a couple reasons. Most of the time, I don't use the shipping from the supplier. There's a couple reasons why. The first reason why is that I feel like your interests aren't aligned, right? They can manipulate, if they're doing the manufacturing and the shipping, they could ship it and it might not be up to standards, right? So I would for sure make sure you're doing an inspection. I almost all the time do an inspection, because I feel like it's just, it might add 20 cents to each of my units of the overall cost, but it's worth it, because one time I ordered 1,000 units of something, and I had the barcode printed on the box, okay? And it was done by a graphic artist, and they put the barcode on the box. Well, guess what? When they went to print the boxes and everything was printed, it didn't scan correctly. The way it came out on the box, the barcode didn't scan. So if I didn't get an inspection and I had those shipped all the way over to Amazon, I would have had a big problem, because Amazon would have got 1,000 units of this product, and there would have been a barcode that they couldn't scan, so they can't put it in their inventory. And who knows what, I would have had a big problem then. So doing the inspection, that was just one time that saved me, and sometimes you'll do an inspection and something will come out not to your liking, and you'll be able to negotiate the price down a little bit because of, whatever reason. And sometimes you'll get your inspection for free, because, they'll find something wrong that, you can negotiate down. So does your company offer shipping services? So you want to get a shipping quote from the manufacturer, because you can compare it to your freight forwarder. So if your freight forwarder is okay, it's $1 per unit to ship this via sea and $3 to ship it via air per unit, then you have another quote from your manufacturer and one from your freight forwarder. It's just good to compare. Sometimes if your manufacturer quote is cheaper, go with them. If you feel comfortable, hey, you're saving money on shipping. As long as it ships there correctly, then everything worked out. Get both quotes. It'll help you in the long run. Number 7, how much does a sample cost? So normally a sample, and I mean this is just a range because everything is a little different, you know, size and whether it's handmade or not, costs $30 to $50 for one sample. It's expensive, I know. Even me, I don't like to go and order 5 samples from 5 different people because I'm not trying to pay $250, you know, for 5 samples that I'm never going to use ever, you know. So normally what I do is after I contact the 5 people, I can kind of tell, and you'll be able to tell too, who you like the best. It's based on price, it's based on quality, or based on item uniqueness, right? You'd be like, oh, this candle is for sure the best. Nobody's selling it, or only one other person's selling anything even similar. That's the one I want to go with. Go with that manufacturer and order a sample. On the low end, it's going to be $30. You know, it's just a candle, so you can probably get something for $30. A lot of the bigger items are $50 or more. It just depends because it's just one item and they have to ship it. They ship it via express. And sometimes they have to, you know, fire up these machines just to make one sample for you. You can't get the sample for $1 most of the time. I mean, it just hasn't been my experience. It's just the cost of doing business. But that's why I don't suggest ordering 5 samples because who wants to throw $250 out the window? I mean, I don't think most people do. So we are looking for a long-term manufacturer for this product, and if it works out with your company, we will do business with you in the future for a long time going forward. Thank you. Put your name here. Send it to 5 or 10 manufacturers. Even if you like one specifically, still send it to a couple other ones because you want to get comparative prices. Like, let's just say you like this one candle and it's great. You're in love with this one, but they come back and they're like $8 per candle. And everybody else comes back and they're like $4 a candle or $3 a candle. Then you really have to consider $8 a candle, you know, that's double the cost. You want to have all that information because remember, guys, this business is all about information. The more information you know, the higher your chance of succeeding here. If you just email one supplier and get one price and just get one shipping quote, the chances of you having to pay more than you could have is a lot higher. If you get quotes from 5 or 10 people and quotes from the freight forwarder or 2 freight forwarders and the manufacturer, your chances of having to not lose money or, you know, not spend as much money is much better. So trust me, keep learning every day. 90% of this business is learning. The sellers out there that are making $1 million a year, they're no different than me or you. They all started off with 1 product or 2 products. And the only difference is that they have learned everything there is to know. And Amazon's always changing, right? When things change, they're on top of it, like right away in the first month, in the first 2 months. Keep learning every day. The smarter you become on this, you can literally have your own business making you tons of money just because you took the time to learn this stuff. Okay? Hope you guys like this video. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notifications. I'm going to be uploading every single day. And there's so much information, you're going to want to learn it all because the more information you learn, the better your chances of success. I'll see you in the next video.